Just a quick reflection on the weekend, Donald. I spoke to Farron Rowson after the game, and he was pretty frustrated. Was that a sense throughout the changing room that, with the chances you created as a team, you probably should have been, over the hills and far away and got the 3 points?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like even at half time we should have been out of sight, and I think the amount of chances we had, we should have been more toothless in front of goal. And then, I just think it's more of a frustration thing on that we felt like we should have won the game, but that's a good sign. I think Faz said it's a good sign that we're disappointed that we're drawing games, but it's still really frustrating because that's 2 points dropped on the weekend.
I don't think there's been a question mark over goal scoring, even earlier in the season when you weren't winning games, and the run now is something like you've only failed to score in one of your last dozen games in all competitions. How much confidence does that give you, even if you're not necessarily, as you just touched on, taking all of those chances?
No, definitely. I think the goals have been spread around everyone, and on another day, the lads put them in. It's just, you have games like that where we'll have games like that away from home where teams might have a lot more shots than us, and it's just the way football goes sometimes. And they've scored 2 from where we felt comfortable in the game, and it's football, isn't it? It's literally, it happens. You have games where they could all go in, or you have games where people miss them, and thankfully we put them in, but then we conceded the second goal and to make it 2-2.
You've largely, over the last couple of months, conceded a lot fewer goals.
Yeah.
Something like 4 clean sheets in half a dozen games.
Yeah.
Conceded a couple at the weekend. How important is it going to Wimbledon that doesn't become back-to-back games where you're conceding goals, where you're conceding multiple goals, and kind of going back to where you were earlier in the season?
Yeah, I think it's important, but if you look at the goals we conceded, they're simple things that we can cut out, and we feel comfortable in the games. It's not like we've just got to make sure we're still switched on for them key moments. And I felt like on another day we could have kept a clean sheet on Saturday. It's just obviously football. That's the way football works, and hopefully we can all get a clean sheet tomorrow.
When it is a case of, as you say, quite simple things, do you already know that? Do you need to be sat in here and told it and shown it? Or as pros, do you go in a changing room and go, we should have done this, should have done that, shouldn't have done this?
Yeah, you do know it, but it's nice to get the manager and Jed's opinion and see, so everyone's on the same page, and I think everyone is on the same page. You can see it on the pitch. The good thing is we're creating most of the chances and having most of the ball, and you can see the stuff we work on Thursday, Fridays, that's going into the games, and everyone's doing what the manager and that are asking. You guaranteed the work rate here. The lads, we've got a good changing room, everyone's going to work hard. It's just making sure we get the right patterns of play and stuff, and you can see it happening on the pitch and you can feel it, and it feels good, and I think we still should have won the game. Yeah.
As far as Wimbledon are concerned, what do you expect from going down there? Obviously you should have already been, and the strangest of circumstances meant it was postponed. What do you expect from this trip?
It's always a tough game at Wimbledon, and it's a nice ground now, and obviously they had the pitch problem, but that'll be sorted now. And I think it's always any team in this league to go away to is tough, and we've watched them this morning and we know what to expect, and we've got to go and implement our own game plan on them and focus on ourselves, but also stop them at the same time.
And as a team, and I appreciate not necessarily you individually, that Chesterfield away performance, how much does that set the bar? Yeah,
definitely. That was our best performance this season not by a country mile, because we've been really good in other games, but you get the 3-0, and you can't do anything better than that away from home, 3-0 and clean sheet. But yeah, that's the standards we've set, and I think our standards have been high all year. It's just at the start of the season we're getting a lot of bad luck, and that's why we've ended up where we are on the table. But I think at the minute we're just focusing on ourselves and just got to keep them standards high. You've got people driving them, so yeah.
We've been talking a lot about people doing a job and versatility, mostly around Ben Woods playing left wing back.
Yeah.
You're the man for this job. Talk to me about being versatile.
Yeah.
I hear from players a lot, I'll play anywhere as long as I'm playing. It feels like you literally will play anywhere.
Yeah, no, I think it's just, I don't mind doing other jobs on the pitch. It's just one of them. But I've always done it my whole career. I've always ended up right back, left back, and then a lot of times I've been moved to centre mid, and then I've played in a back three quite a lot. So I've just always done it, and I think the more you do it, Ben will probably find this, the more he does it, he'll end up, you don't get pigeonholed into doing, you can, if someone gets injured, he can just play there. But it just happens, and then that's just what's happened throughout my career. And I think Ben's obviously a very good player, and he's got a very good football brain, so it's easy for him to do it.
So when you were a kid, what was your position?
So when you're really young, I started out as a striker, and then I was centre mid, and then as I got older I just turned to a right back. But I think I've always just moved around everywhere, and I think growing up you just play different positions, and I don't know, I'd actually enjoy playing different positions every now and then. It just keeps you switched on and stuff, so yeah.
I just wonder who, at what point, which academy coach or whatever looked and went, he's the kind of kid that I can say, you go and play left back even though you're a right back. Do you think it's something about you as a character as much as a footballer?
Honestly, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you, but I've just always, I think, first it starts off, you start full back, and then you can play right backs always can end up playing left back, and then I think I try and, because I think maybe my attributes, maybe they fit into different positions quite well or something, whereas in if I was really quick, I'd probably just end up on the wing or something, but because I'm not the quickest, but I can just the way I play is I kind of cover a lot of ground and try and just keep the ball moving, yeah.
Are there pitfalls with being Mr. Versatile? Can you sometimes be the second choice for a lot of positions rather than nailing down a spot?
You can, but it's a squad game. I don't think you'd start a season with 46 games. I don't think anyone, obviously Zach's played every minute so far, but it's saying it now, it's I think the way I play, I don't think I could play 46 games a season anyway, just because you cover a lot of ground, and that's where the whole squad's needed, and it's a squad game at the end of the day, and that's going to be used over the season, and yeah.
Do you get from young players who are being asked to do jobs that they're not? We've talked about Ben Woods, of course. Yeah. Tyler Walton is playing as a centre forward when he's usually a wide player. Do these guys ask you stuff because they see you playing right wing back one day and then left wing back and then centre half and then in the centre of midfield? Is there that kind of feedback going on?
They won't specifically ask you, but say on a Thursday, Friday we'll work on stuff, you could just try and give them little things where I couldn't tell anyone to play up front really to know how to do it or put the ball in the back of the net, but we'll try and help them out where, say if I get the ball at right wing back, I'll say to Tyler, if you run there, then I'll try and put the ball in there for you. And these lads, it's a really good changing room that Jed and John have put together, and you just know that everyone wants to be on the same wavelength where we're moving up, and you can see that. I think you can see that on the pitch on Saturday. The work rate you get from the young lads is they're the energy in the team. That's what they give us, that lift, and they give the fans a lift, and that's what everyone wants.
And there are inexperienced players, and we talk about Tyler there, who's of course inexperienced at Football League level, but he's not young necessarily. But there are also young lads and lone players coming in. I look at Sonny El Joffrey, of course, coming through the Man United Academy, something that you know about. How valuable is it for them coming out, getting football, learning on the job and being part of this dressing room?
Yeah, it's massive for them. You can just see them, they thrive on it. You can see with Sonny and Zach, you can see them, because they've got Faz in the middle, them three together are you can see they're picking things up off Faz all the time. You can see it the first few games, because the aggression they've now got just off playing with him is just unbelievable, because you can tell they're literally on it every second now. But I'm not saying they weren't, but I mean he made them ready for that, where they were because Faz knows a lot of the strikers in the league, so he'll pre-warn them on what they're coming up against. Smith on Saturday, they knew he was going to be aggressive, big in the air, so they were ready for it. And listen, they're learning, and they're going to make mistakes, but the work rate and the attitude on them is unbelievable, yeah.
And just when you cross that white line and go onto the pitch, you've mentioned yourself, Farron Rawson as experienced guys, particularly if Worley and Keneally aren't playing.
Yeah.
How much are you guys enjoying that being elevated in the experience rankings, becoming more important, passing those things on?
Yeah, I feel like we because we had a young team at Morecambe anyway, and that's the way it was, where we were kind of the older heads. But you do miss Seamus and Sean, because they're just top pros as well. So the way they speak to people and stuff, it's just Sean's obviously energy and stuff. Everyone feeds off that, but yeah, we've got to try and when they're not playing, we've got to take the mantle, and when we're not playing, they naturally do it anyway. And yeah, you do miss them sometimes, but then we're trying our best to fill in for when they're not doing it with our voices.
And I guess in that sense, everybody's learning because you're perhaps learning from those guys.
Yeah, definitely, 100% we're learning off them because they've been Shane. I don't know how long Shane has been captain here for, but obviously it's like he's been captain for a reason. And then I've played with Sean at Shrewsbury. He was exactly the same at Shrewsbury, and yeah, you just will definitely learn off them. Yeah.